Edward Curtis was a photographer who worked in the late 19th century and the early 20th century. His epic work, which was the North American Indians Project, spanned a 30-year period of time and is composed of 20 volumes of photogravures with associated text volumes, which have a lot of ethnographic information in them that relate to the photographs. What you have represented in the portfolio is less than 1% of his artistic output. In terms of the work that was published, we do have the full set, and it is printed on this India tissue paper, which is one of the more delicate and nuanced photogravures paper material that was used.
And the main goal of his project was to document what he considered the vanishing race of the Native American population. And so that's why within this series there's different volumes for different tribal communities, and he went all over the United States to document that work.
It, I think, reflects shifting perspectives on Native Americans during that period too. A lot of radical things happen during that span of time. So you start with assimilation, and this whole notion of the vanishing race, I think, echoes a lot of those notions of assimilation and almost manifest destiny. As his work evolves, you get a lot more detailed information. You also start to see a shift again in that photographic practice from pictorialism to modernism, where you have much more geometric lines and texture and shape, but a lot more information, I think, in there as well.
We also have other photograph collections of photographers that were taking images at the same time, like Lee Morehouse. And so it's very interesting for us to be able to bring out both of those collections together and compare and contrast them with photo practices, but also how the photography was taking place, and also just comparing visually the images to one another. The daily activities of tribal communities, really getting out more of what was the reality of being in those communities and what was their everyday life, rather than the ones that are more well-known or very romanticized images of tribal communities. I like to look at the ones, or bring out the ones that seem a little bit more authentic.
There are so many layers to this collection that it has broad range, interest, and use, and I think that is one of the most significant things that I bring to this collection when I talk about it.
It's not just significant for its historical purposes for that time, but also how do we change the narrative of that collection, and how are artists today, particularly Native artists, using Curtis's work, or being influenced by Curtis, or restructuring kind of what he was trying to do.